Our sixth speaker, Darren Tay, I see red. I see red, Darren Tay.
I can recall vividly my high school English teacher would use the 7 colors of the rainbow in the sky to teach us how to describe our emotions. If someone were to say, I see green, the person is probably feeling green with envy and hope to emulate a role model to attain the same level of success. If a person were to say, I see blue, the person is probably feeling a sense of calmness, serenity, and tranquility. But if someone were to say, I see red, how do you think the person is feeling? The person is probably feeling? Absolutely. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters. Over the past few years as I grew older, I tend to see red most of the time. I don't know why. Even though I'm blessed with clothes to wear, food, a job, and an education, something was still missing in my life. I felt dissatisfied and frustrated. Let me paint you a picture of a typical day. Early in the morning, at 7, I'll be dressed in a suit, tie, holding a briefcase, ready for work. As I stepped out of my house, I would see my neighbor Joy, next door, watering the plants. Joy would ask me the silliest and most obvious of questions. She would look at me, and she would ask, Hey Darren, going to work? I was thinking, 7 in the morning, dressed in a suit, tie, holding a briefcase, where else could I be going? I really felt like telling her, oh no, I'm not going to work, I'm going to your house. And once, when my car had a flat tire, Joy asked, Hey Darren, flat tire? I felt like telling her, oh no, the other 3 are swollen. So you see, my friends, at the start of the day, I saw red. And at work, I saw red as well. Because no matter how much of an effort I invest in my work, my boss would nitpick on my performance. Even my pronunciation and enunciation. I suspect he's a Toastmaster. A very good grammarian. And at home, when I thought finally I could have a peace of mind, my mom would make me see red as well. Because my mom, who's learning how to use the internet, by the way, would interrupt me at the worst time possible. There was once I'll be busy working on a project. My mom would ask, Hey son, how do I log on to the internet? I said, Mom, just click on the Internet Explorer icon. Which one is the Internet Explorer icon? I said, Mom, the one with the E and Internet Explorer at the bottom. Should I left-click or right-click on the mouse? I said, Mom, just left-click on the mouse. How many times should I click? I said, Mom, just click 2 times, double-click. Which finger should I use to click? Which finger do you... It doesn't really matter which finger you use to click. Just click on the mouse, left-click 2 times, double-click. So you see, my friends, at the start of the day till the end, I would see red. And just as I was about to be distressed, dejected, and depressed in this vicious cycle of perpetual redness, I came to see the light. There was a turning point in my life. This was when psychology professor Dr. Dan Gilbert visited my law school. He spoke before 200 law students, and before he started, he took out a piece of paper that looked just like this, and he asked all of us, what do you see? We were all thinking, this is not a trick question. I see red. To be more specific, I see a red dot. The professor said, well, good. What else do you see? So we law students were thinking, okay, we need to be a bit more creative. So one law student raised his hand and said, I know. It is a blemish on an otherwise pristine white piece of paper, and under Chapter 393 of the Republic of Singapore, Statutory Provision, Section 14, Subsection 122A and 2B, you can sue the manufacturer for damages. the professor said, well, these are good answers, but they're wrong. Not exactly wrong, but not what I'm looking out for. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it is very easy as human beings to focus on the red. We focus on the red first. It is like the negative traits in others, the blemish in others, the contamination in others. It takes a lot more courage to take a step back and look at the larger area of purity and strength in others. The next time when you see red, let us all take a step back. Look at the larger area of goodness and praise others. We would have a whole new positive outlook in life. Determined to make a change. The next day, when I met my neighbor Joy, when she was watering the plants, and when she asked me the same question, hey Darren, going to work? Instead of seeing red, I took a step back. And I told my neighbor Joy, Joy, thank you for taking an interest in my life. You're a very nice person. Let me buy you dinner next time. The next day, did she ask me the same question? She asked me the same question again. But this time round, instead of watering her plants, she came to my house to water my plants for me. And at work, when my boss criticized my performance once more, instead of seeing red, I took a step back. And I told my boss, boss, when you give me feedback, you invest in my progress. At the end of the year, he gave me the best employee's appraisal in the entire firm. And at home, when my mom made me see red, instead of seeing red, I took a step back. And I told my mom, Mom, I will teach you how to use the internet patiently. Because you've been doing that for me since I was young, and I love you. You all must be thinking, Darren Mom must be saying, oh, so sweet. No. She looked at me, and she said, who are you? Are you my son? But guess what? The next day, on the dining table, were all my favorite dishes. My friends, do you see red in your life? When you see red, can you join me? Take a step back and look at a larger area of goodness. My challenge to you is the next time we see the rainbow, don't just focus on the red. Look at the beautiful spectrum of the 7 colors, because you may just find your pot of gold at the end of the day. Contest share.
Thank you.